about today is how, with research we can increase production of animal protein, which we need for a growing population, but producing that animal protein in a more sustainable way and reducing climate emissions, which we know we have to do. It's the soil mapping project. This is it's a new initiative where Norway takes part along with other nations. It's called the Global Fertilizer Challenge. We know that the situation on fertilizers is quite critical because of the energy prices, because you need gas to produce fertilizer. At the same time, we know that fertilizers, it produces emissions, which we want to reduce, but we need fertilizers to produce food. So we need to develop new management of fertilizers, simply use it in a smarter way. And together with the CGIAR system, this research network, and Yara and other organizations, we will be mapping the soil quality in the region, the Sub-Saharan region. And why is that important? Because with the soil mapping, we will be able to use fertilizer in a more direct way. We will not use too much so it becomes a pollution problem. We will use the right kind of fertilizer to optimize production, and at the end of the day this will be good for the environment, but it will also increase the outcome and the productivity for small-scale farmers using fertilizers. So this soil mapping data will be global public goods. Anyone can access it, and I think it's really revolutionary for agricultural production in Africa. Let me limit myself to saying that I hope you will have an enlightened and open public discussion on the issue in Kenya. I think that's very important.
I do think that we are learning from each other. For instance, here at ILRI, there's so much research being done, so many competent people that are finding new ways, new techniques, new technologies, so that we can optimize the way we do farming, especially, I guess, specializing on farming like here in Kenya and in this region. But when we do the linkages between the Norwegian know-how and the Kenyan know-how, I'm sure that there's a lot of good that can come out of that cooperation.
Information to them, and they're able to read. You've just heard from the Crown Princess that the Norway is supporting soil mapping across the globe, because we need to know the nature of the soil that we do have, and how then do we leverage on that. That's another area that we are now going to partner with the one CGR through ILRI, that they will be able to support the government to map the entire country and know the type of soils that we have. Once we have that information about our soils, all that will be stored in a database which will be shared to the farmers when they want to start planting. Which crop do they want to plant? They need to interrogate that information and say, if I'm planting sunflower, then what type of fertilizer do I need to use? So all this, the farmer will be able to know when they go to the agrovet, they are able to buy the right fertilizer to use for the right kind of crops. It is through research, it's through soil mapping that we're able to know. Without that, it will be very difficult. We as a government had started, but it was on a small scale. But we are happy now that we have gotten partners who are going to come in to support us to map the entire country. I've told you, even such dry areas, with little rain, there are certain crops that can do very well there. You've seen for yourself, if you went to Stuart's farm, it's able to do with the minimum tillage. You're able to grow some crops. Like, for example, pasture for livestock. You don't need a lot of rain for that. We need less rain, but what type of crops? What type of soils are we talking about? So it is really important that we partner with the research institutions so that we are able to take those information, technology that we have gained there, and take it to our farmers. The role of the government basically is to capacity build our farmers. And this we do with a framework. We've developed our agricultural sector and transformation, growth transformation strategy. This one you also want to support the farmers, because some